right, guys. Our soundboard isn't working for some reason, but it's March 22nd, and we are Prime Nation. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sydney Roberts.
I'm Tyler Wood.
I'm Cameron.
I'm Charlie Dawson.
I'm Tanner Methvin.
And then we got Gerard Fortune back there on the couch, and Captain Dan rocking Wirecast.
Is my mic even on?
Yeah, doesn't sound like it is.
Does not.
You're right. It does not sound like it is.
Hello.
This is fine.
It is.
Is mine on?
Hello, it is me.
Tanner, you're working.
Can I be heard?
I have no clue why that wouldn't be working. Is it? Check your connection down there.
Boy, our live audience is going to be thrilled.
We'll handle this as we go on with the show.
All right.
But for now, let's get some conversation going with On This Day, and then we'll see what I can help you out with.
Hi.
So on this day, I guess this is going to be the norm where most of history just sucked. So a lot of violent things today, a lot of really unfortunate, sad things today. But also, in 1954, on March 22nd, the first shopping mall opened in Southfield, Michigan.
That could be a negative thing depending on your perspective.
Very true if you're against American consumerism.
I hate capitalism.
Okay, we'll
Is the mall still open? Did it make it this long?
Point.
Good question.
Is it still? No. Yep.
No.
How big?
I feel like every mall has like a 5-year period and then they have to close.
I mean, in 1954, I feel like a mall would be like 6 stores and pretzel place, and you're done.
No, they had stores back then.
I didn't say they didn't have stores. I said they'd only have a few stores.
All right.
Keep up, Charlie.
Charlie's just off his game today. Let's see if it is still open.
What's it called?
Southfield. Well, I just know it was in Southfield, Michigan.
Okay.
So excuse us.
Yeah, where I'm from, did you guys ever go to South Point, which is like near Durham?
No.
No thanks. I had Southport.
Oh, hilarious. No, big freaking. You know what, Cam?
Yes, Tan.
I'm glad you have to share a mic with Tyler.
Try your mic now, Cameron.
Hello.
There
Welcome
we
to
go.
Prime Nation Radio. I'm Cameron Smith. That's what I tried
Tyler
to say earlier.
What was the problem? What was the reason for the most unbearable 2 minutes of my life?
I was about to say Tyler can breathe easy. It wasn't routed to the right channel. We I didn't get a chance to tell you guys about this yesterday, but we had some young gentlemen come in yesterday and record some rap songs.
Really?
Oh,
nice.
That's what was going on.
It was interesting. Yeah, it was very interesting.
Our friend Gerard loved how white that was. We had some young gentlemen come into the studio and record some rap songs.
That
I don't want to specify the pigment of their skin, but I think you should guess.
If I had to guess, Puerto Rican.
that totally reminds me. I saw this wreck on the corner of Market and First Street with Brian Piccolo. I saw this really nice black Charger, or I think it was like a black Charger and there was a larger SUV next to it, and the SUV tried to turn left and didn't see the Charger and then sideswiped it.
Uh-huh.
And it was this older white guy driving the SUV and a younger black guy driving the Charger. And then I just saw them drive down to the end of the road, where there is no traffic on Market Street, by the water.
Yeah.
And me and Brian Piccolo were like, we gotta walk by there and see if there's any altercation.
I was wondering how Brian. So you were with Brian Piccolo, okay?
And so then we passed right when the white dude's on the phone, I guess, calling the cops or insurance people. Was yes, I just sideswiped this gentleman. So.
But yeah, I mean, just to put the whole issue to rest, I like to play into my my persona. So I like to highlight these.
Your brand?
I won't go that far, but I like to, because I like to think I'm hip and with the times, but I like to.
No, you're not, Dad.
But I like to sort of elaborate on things in a archetypically white way.
Can we plug the rappers' name? Do you know their name?
No. Well, I know their real names, but I won't put them.
No,
on
yeah.
I don't know what they go by.
Young
Actually,
gentleman.
one of them went by Bands. I can say that. It's probably not a unique rap name.
Is the name
No, I've
Young
never heard
Gentleman
that.
taken for a group?
Is the name what?
Young Gentleman taken?
Young Gentleman?
I like that name.
I'm pretty sure.
Was he wearing dreads? Was he have dreads?
Uh-huh.
Bands?
Uh-huh.
Was he kind of short?
No, he was actually pretty tall.
All right.
Gerard asked if he was wearing dreads and if he was kind of short.
Yeah.
I know Gentle Maine is a rapper. Because I wanted to be that, and then I looked it up on SoundCloud, and then sure enough, Gentle
Well, the
Maine.
difference between them and us is it was this warm in the room, and they just started taking off their shirts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we can do that?
Yeah, I can. I don't know if
I've-
anyone wants me to.
I have
Is
considered
this
on
good radio?
Look, we're on video, guys.
I think I've got enough sweat that my lav mic will just stick to like my chest.
What if the only two people that take our shirts off are just me and Tanner?
I wouldn't allow you two to
The
be the only
viewers
ones.
just
I would,
spike.
I would join.
Well, when you're just recording a rap song, you can wear whatever you like. But yeah, since we have everyone here on camera today, let's keep our clothes on for the most part, at least. It is
Fine.
pretty warm in here, though. But I think
Fine.
after today, the AC is going to be dealt with. So no one really had much to say about malls. I don't really spend much time in malls. It doesn't really seem to me like anyone in this room is like a
I
extravagant
haven't
shopper.
been to a mall probably in like a year.
I used to be a real mall head.
Go
A
hang
mall
out.
head
Did
or
you
reps?
really?
Small
Yeah.
bit.
Yep, real mall
Did
rat.
you just take laps? Were you one of those guys?
Excuse me?
I
Just
think
to-
he's talking about on that train, that little tiny train that
Oh.
runs around.
God, Tyler and the trains.
It wasn't even intentional. It's the trains.
I would go to the mall solely for a pretzel Twizzler or pretzel twister. Solely for that.
Pretzel
'cause they made
Twizzler.
amazing- Yeah, so
Somebody
that would
needs
be
to
a
jump
cool
on
place,
that.
too. Yeah.
I went to a mall in Alabama when I was on tour, and I saw a pair of camouflage yoga pants for the first time. And,
Oh, I thought that was gonna be like
That's
really
horrific.
racist. Thought you like were taking a deep breath.
That's what I thought.
no, I burped.
Oh.
That was, and I saw a young gentleman.
If they're wearing camouflage pants, I don't know if gentleman applies.
It was a lady.
Well, even so, yeah, she's no gentlewoman in my opinion. No, I'm sorry, I don't mean to disparage any of our camouflage wearers.
Let's move on, shall we?
Another thing that happened notable on this day, Tyler pointed out to me, was the third Columbia mission. you
Yes,
said? Yeah,
I
launched
believe so.
on this day in 1982.
The one that didn't blow up.
Yeah.
Was
yeah,
that-
Yeah.
That was Challenger, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that
I
was
think so,
Challenger.
yeah.
Columbia made it. Columbia's good, right?
And that's also not the one that Ron Howard made the movie about, is it?
That's Apollo 13.
That's right. So getting on into pop culture, the TSA, actually I don't know if it came directly from the TSA, but either way, the U.S. mandated and then Britain followed suit that flights from, I think it's 13 Middle Eastern countries can no longer, you have to check electronics that are larger than a cell phone. Apparently there was, they uncovered a plan, someone was going to smuggle a bomb in with a laptop. So,
Was it my new mixtape?
no, that would just be hot fire, not a bomb.
Oh, wait, just you wait, Charlie.
Oh,
you booed
great
me for that.
graphic, by the way, Dan.
Nice. God, joyful TSA.
Yeah.
Everyone loves them. What's worse, the TSA or the DMV?
DMV.
I think
Even
TSA.
TSA.
because
Okay.
The DMV is necessary.
Mhm.
I honestly haven't had. The worst I've had with DMV experience, I've had a bunch of pretty good DMV experiences. The worst I've had is just like one guy in this like mobile RV who's just got an attitude.
What
and
DMV are you going
Yeah,
to? Are
wait,
you,
oh,
was
South, there's
this
South
to get your fake ID?
No, in Southport, that's the mobile DMV, and it comes like for a week, once a month, like the first week of every month.
You're a
Oh.
hillbilly.
Yeah, like a circus attraction?
Not a hillbilly. There's just not many people in this small town.
So as if the DMV isn't bad enough, you only have one time a week you can go?
Well, no, and then there's one that's a little further away. It's like 30, 45 minutes outside of town. That's the Charlotte one, and it's also just not very busy.
Mm-hmm.
But more recently, my TSA experiences, I had two pretty contrasting ones. When I was going through TSA in the Charlotte airport to get to New York, they were very kind. Everybody was just very nice. And then when I came back to New York, there was just, the dude that was running it was very militant and
Yeah.
like, take your shoes off, get
Yeah.
this done, like this now. I'm not messing around. Like
Same
it was just
airport?
like, yeah, no, it was
LaGuardia, right?
no JFK.
Oh, okay. LaGuardia was pretty tough too.
Yeah.
I think they just have so many people they can't like mess around.
Yeah,
they
there's
gotta
high
keep
traffic.
it going.
Right. Well, honestly, the Charlotte one was busier.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, there were
That's Southern
'cause
hospitality.
there were more like lanes in the New York one. So
Oh,
like
yeah,
they
yeah.
weren't as, but the Charlotte one was much more backed up.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. So the New York one was like any
Yeah.
rational grocery store. The Charlotte one was like Walmart.
Yeah.
Where there's only 2 lanes
Yeah.
open at all times.
You know the rational grocery stores where there's a militant guy saying, "Please get in that lane.
Let me check your bags. Take off your shoes.
Use the separator. I swear to God."
These countries that the devices are banned from are Jordan, Egypt, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Morocco, and the UAE, and then Britain also added Tunisia and Lebanon. So it puts it at a total of 10, not 13.
The United Arab Emirates, they're fine. They're,
Think so?
They're pretty rich, aren't they?
With Dubai, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they're the richest country in
But-
the world.
Well,
We've
I
had
So ridiculous.
we've had underwear bombers and shoe bombers, and those are still fine.
That's
so
why I don't fly with underwear.
yeah,
I haven't flown since I was 5.
We should have some poo
the
bombers.
last time I was on a plane was my freshman year of high school.
Last time I was on a plane, senior year of high school, I don't fly. I cannot. I get motion sick very easily, and also I just don't like it. It scares the hell out of me. You're in
I
a
love
giant
flying.
coffin.
I liked
Wow.
it. I liked it a lot. And to me, Dan and I were talking about this yesterday because Dan said that he's not ever really comfortable in a plane because he knows that if anything were to go wrong, there's nothing he could do about it. And to me, that's almost like more comforting. It's like it's
Yeah.
all out of my hands. If the pilots screw up, I can't be held responsible if I die.
Nah, not me. Especially whenever a plane does like a sharp turn, I'm like, nope, this is not how you're supposed to sit.
It's
Not how you're not supposed to be doing this. In other words,
I don't know, I find it therapeutic. I love planes. I don't know. I
You
always
would.
like reading
Yeah.
right on planes.
Maybe likey the plane.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm called names if I say I like trains.
Well, that's
That's weird.
So we know how
Yeah.
we feel about planes and trains. What about automobiles, though? Anyone? Any thoughts?
first off, hilarious reference. Second off, I like driving. I don't get motion sick in a car for some
Would you
reason
fly in
unless I.
that plane?
Oh, good God.
Oh wow.
I
That's
would.
low-res image.
Yeah. I can't tell is it just like spikes sticking out of it?
No, it's people.
Those are people. It's a convertible plane.
What?
Now, did that actually fly, or is that like a Photoshop?
That's got to be Photoshop.
It's Photoshop, but it's a prototype.
What?
Huh.
Whoa.
How do you do a convertible?
You'd have to fly at like a really low altitude, right?
Do you
It's
have
a-
like
it's a
gravity
party
shoes?
convertible plane.
Because
Huh.
Dan had his pilot's license. Dan can fly.
Is that why you call him Captain Dan?
Is the movie,
yeah.
Is the movie Flight really about Dan?
What happened to that license?
He just hasn't renewed it, as far as I know. I can't speak for
Sure.
Dan, but
Couple years.
what'd you say, Dan?
It just needs to be renewed every few years.
Yeah.
Sure, you weren't pulled over drunk flying or anything.
He's not Harrison Ford or no
Mel Gibson?
Patrick Swayze. God rest his soul.
A Denzel.
Denzel, yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Come on
yeah.
up top.
Up top.
So moving away from the laptops, it's just
But I
unfortunate
do want to
news.
say that one of the problems with this is that once you store stuff like that in the back, it's much more susceptible to theft. When
Yeah.
I was like 6, my
You were
game-
stolen at an airport.
yeah, my parents put me in the back because they banned stupid children from being in the plane. No, my Game Boy was stolen. Yeah, exactly. I lost my lime green Game Boy.
They go in your bag?
Yeah, it went in the bag, went in the back, and then we opened the bag and it wasn't there.
Did you lose your Pokemon Yellow version with it too?
Actually, yes, I did lose a Pokemon game with it.
Oh, okay, but not Yellow.
No, who cares? Yellow sucks.
Oh
But, like,
man, I knew there was going to be a dissenting opinion. Yellow was my favorite.
Yellow was
Yellow
awesome.
forces you to have Pikachu.
No, you can evolve it up to Raichu if you trade with someone else.
Okay,
Ugh.
so there's so many hassles that you just described. This is before the internet, before wireless.
You know what? Maybe you don't deserve to have a Game Boy. You're just gonna complain like this.
They might have heard me like talking to someone about that. They're like, "All right, we gotta, for the sake of his
Your
family, we gotta
parents-
take this away."
Your parents told you it was stolen, and they actually just threw it away.
You know what? You're saying that now. I'm really like going through it, like, oh god,
Connecting yarn.
Mom, if you're listening to this, we have to have a conversation later.
That's hilarious. But yeah, that's something that they brought up in the article is that people, because most people's most valuable sensitive information is on their laptops and stuff like that.
Yeah, like the floor plans for Trump Tower. That
Yeah.
was stolen in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that the Secret Service slipped up and were allowed to be stolen. But that was a horrible sentence. I just forgot how to speak English there. But yeah, so this is saying that it's most likely going to have a serious impact on flights to the area and from the area because people are going to be so wary about checking in their stuff with all that sensitive material.
They also said it's going to make flights take so much longer.
Yeah.
Like if it's not backed up already, you can't even imagine what it's going to be like. That's a living hell. I do pity those people for that. That
You
is
pity
awful.
those fools.
And apparently, flights are already down in that area because the price of oil is low. I guess that is a correlation. No one can go on their ridiculous spending sprees like they used to. So it's all just resulting in really bad news for Middle Eastern Air, is what it is. I think that's actually the name of the airline. Yeah, Mideast Airlines. Or no, that actually that's probably just the more general. All of those airlines.
Yeah.
It's a CNN with Sidney Roberts.
So I think that's about time to move on to the next subject, guys.
You said it. Well, maybe we could talk about milk cats or something. You know?
Milk cats?
That was a milk
I
cat.
do want to talk about that.
Oh, you do? Okay. I mean, it's just basically like a cat that likes milk.
Oh,
Yeah.
They're gonna say it's a cat you can milk
Yeah.
from Meet the Parents.
there were so many things that could have been better than what you just described.
Well, you know what, Tanner? Why don't you come up with one of them, huh?
You know what, fellas? It's a lot better to build a bridge than to dig a hole.
Yeah.
So let's all build each other up.
I agree.
All right, I'll build a bridge, then dig a big hole under it, burn the bridge with Charlie on it, and live a happy life.
I like how you started off that whole exchange being mad at Cameron and then it shifted
No, no.
to Charlie.
I wanted to like get everyone. I wanted to make sure that like, especially because like, look at
What
him.
about Gerard?
Well, Gerard, I keep touching him and he doesn't respond.
Gerard is not. He does not like being touched.
I haven't even
No,
heard.
no,
This is not my day. I came here to chill.
I tried to put my cold hands on the back of his neck the other day, and he was like, "Man, what are you doing?"
So, Tanner, do you mean that you were accidentally touching him? Or.
No, he keeps doing it on purpose.
Didn't we
he's
get
so
over that in like
touchable.
5th grade?
He's so touchable.
Tanner's hands are so they touch you like this.
With the wrist?
Gerard, how do you feel?
The claws.
Oh, man.
The lobster claws.
So much for building each other up. So let's talk about this giant
Yeah.
chicken. I don't know. I hadn't seen this before yesterday, but apparently this is like a cultural phenom. Apparently I was the last one to see it. So I'll play this for you guys. And what do you guys disagree?
No, it's just
cultural
phenom,
phenom.
guys.
Yeah, this chicken.
The only time I've ever heard someone use the word phenom to describe some sentient being is someone describing the Undertaker in WWE.
I was about to.
I used to like The
LeBron
Undertaker.
is how I always heard phenom.
He was my favorite wrestler when I used to watch
The
wrestling.
Undertaker? Well,
Yeah.
he's still wrestling.
Really?
Yeah, he's probably gonna die
Is he
in the
still the
ring.
Undertaker?
Yeah.
Does he do that like fog opening?
Yeah.
That thing was awesome.
Still has
Takes him like 7 minutes to walk down to the ring.
Chicken.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's him on the screen.
Nice.
Oh,
That's
wow.
perfect, yeah.
It's the Undertaker. That's him walking to the
It
ring.
looks like, yeah, right before it steps out, he looks like kind of like a big but still normal chicken,
Yeah.
and then he steps out.
Uh-huh.
He's like, "Who's trying to go?"
And that's definitely the same hen house as in this video, but in this video it features a different chicken. So if you guys want to go to this Twitter page is lifesbook_CEO, you can see this video of this gigantic chicken walking around. And it's like unsettling how big this thing is.
It
Is
is.
I
there
want to see
actually
it
any-
compared to a human.
I was about to say, is there any pictures or video where it's like standing next to an average person?
Yeah, good question. But you can see those are cinder blocks down there. So roughly 12 inches tall.
This isn't a joke, but I mean, egg size. What do you think? Do you think it's
good question.
You know?
I
Let
think
me
it's
look that
actually
up.
big because it's got one giant egg that's been meaning to lay, but it can't.
The golden egg.
It's backed up.
It's
yeah,
backed up.
exactly.
There's another chicken behind it.
Was there?
Yeah, in that last thing that we had.
It might have been the chicken from the video.
Chicken.
Thank you, Cameron. That was.
You're welcome.
Such a valuable contribution. Apparently, Brahma chickens are rare because they lay eggs and they're called winter layers.
Yeah, that third one. That's that chicken, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that looks like
That,
Yeah, really?
that one looks as big as.
He's not
yeah.
as thick though.
It looks like one of those things where, like, you take a
It's not
picture.
about the thickness, Tyler.
That's a thick chicken. Need me one like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The chicken in the background right there. That's great, Dan. It looks like those pictures where you take like a picture of all of us right here, and then we develop it, and there's someone extra in the background.
Right.
Well, like my St. Patrick's Day picture where we asked a stranger on the street to take a picture of me and my friends, and then these two guys, two young gentlemen, photobombed it, and then
Just
said hi to
like
us.
that.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
Very
what we're
similar
talking
to
about,
that.
Yeah.
I was going for less of a. I was going for less of a rapscallion type angle and more of a supernatural one. So.
Yeah. Like the ghost pictures when you
Yeah.
like develop. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you go through development and end up like this. And you don't want that.
So this was Tyler posted this from the Munchies page on Vice. So it begs the question: do you know if anyone eats Brahma chicken?
I would.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, it seems like a waste not to.
Tandoori roast that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, by the way, have you used that Food Lion gift card yet?
I haven't. It's sitting on my nightstand.
Still got to get those pickles, man.
I am not out of the Clausen pickles that I have in my my fridge. So once I'm out of those, I'll go slide up in that Food Lion and get me some boar's head.
Back from break number 1. It is March 22nd, Prime Nation Radio. And you guys hold me to this. I hate starting off by saying all right, but I do it almost every single time. So every time I do it.
All right. Now,
That's
Sydney.
enough. If it was if it was like a tag, like all right, you know, it wouldn't be quite so bad.
Maybe you should try.
I quit. I'm
Just
done.
restart this.
Just try some different. Well, maybe write down some suggestions. But like, I feel like maybe you should come in like Sydney back in the building. You know, like something like that.
I've noticed it about myself that I always say all right when we come back from the break, and I've noticed that when other broadcasters do it, and I'm not a big fan, so I need you guys to hold me to not.
Maybe
do that.
they're also.
I do
not
that when I'm doing speeches at school. I always say all right. Like every sentence I say all right.
Say okay. Say okay. We're
Say
back.
alrighty now.
Or
Yeah, I could put my spin on it.
Do you do all right with one L as one word, or all as in ALL space?
I spell it ALTRIGHT.
Gotcha.
That explains the haircut.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does this haircut look alt-right to everybody?
actually, I can chime in about the all right thing.
I can as well. I have a strong
Thank you,
opinion
Cameron.
about this.
I know that it is proper to do it two separate words, all and right. That is correct in writing, but I kind of protest that because
Hey, you know what's correct in broadcasting? Not talking with your mouth full.
is it noticeable on the?
It is a little bit noticeable,
Or is
but
it
I'm
just-
just kidding.
Or just because you know that there's peanuts in my mouth?
I can tell that you have peanuts in your mouth.
Well, that about settles
Well,
it.
I guess,
So
I guess,
So you
Hey guys,
protest.
all right.
Zootopia.
All
I
right.
guess I'm all right on this.
What about that cartoon?
Yeah, Zootopia?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, to answer Tanner's question, I'm an all one-word guy. One L.
All one
Yeah,
word.
no, me too. Yeah.
I guess so.
You
Yeah.
agree, Cameron?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to squash your steam.
No, it's okay. It was my fault. I put peanuts in my mouth.
So moving on to Zootopia, there's a new lawsuit. Apparently, the writer of Total Recall and Big Trouble in Little China pitched to Disney on 2 separate occasions, in 2000 and 2009, his concept for a franchise that was called Zootopia at the time. Apparently, it was going to be an animated movie called Zootopia, and then a live-action related movie called Looney that he pitched both times. He even provided characters, which we can see on the screen there.
Well, for Zootopia, not Looney.
Yeah. The characters on the right are obviously from, the Disney-produced movie Zootopia, and the characters on the left are this guy's, mock-ups of them, so pretty darn close.
That's like generic brand, and then like
Yeah, you got
you see what I mean? Name brand, yeah.
Yeah, you got Mountain Roar to the left.
Yeah.
How dare you, sir?
Doctor like me.
Yeah.
Dr. Perky.
Dr.
Especially on the bottom
Thunder?
right, the armadillo, I think, all the way
Yeah.
bottom right. Like,
Yeah.
what is going on there?
And you can tell, some of these ended up being different animals, but they still kind of copied their characteristics.
Steez, yeah.
The lamb in the bottom left, for instance.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
got a lot less moody.
Yeah,
that armadillo in the bottom right. Is that
yeah.
what that is?
I think
or
so.
the anteater or whatever. That
Oh,
looks like
it might be an anteater.
That looks like it could be something off Pinky in the Brain or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gazelle is not as attractive in the original concept art as she was.
Tanner.
All right,
Tanner.
let's.
Shakira provided the voice.
Wait, who?
Because Shakira is not providing the
Gazelle.
voice to her in the concept art, Tyler. Yeah, Shakira was Gazelle in Zootopia.
Oh, is that her
see.
name? Cozell?
That big song, Try Everything, was, Gazelle.
And you found her hot.
I found her voice very
She's not
attractive.
Ruby Doo, for
Yeah.
God's sake.
I found
She-
her voice
she-
incredibly attractive.
Gazelle's great,
Have
but
you ever
she is
seen
no
that-
Ruby Doo.
Have you seen that World Cup video she did, that Waka Waka song? Like,
No.
okay.
Waka
great.
Waka?
Yeah.
Tanner, you have the floor.
Just a very, 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 very attractive woman.
Shakira?
Yes.
No, the
yeah,
animal.
I was about to say, yeah.
Shakira, yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny because anyone
if
has
you
everyone
do
here
so-
seen Zootopia?
Yes.
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 Yeah, so
No, I
in the
have not.
movie, Gazelle is the Shakira of their world, and the song plays throughout. But in the concept art, you can see it was a cheetah. It wasn't even supposed to be a gazelle.
Is my mic on? Oh, yeah, it is.
And who knows what the actual story he pitched and everything like that was, but the lawsuit alleges that they ripped off the story, the characters, the descriptions. Let me see if I can find.
It's kind of nuts that he pitched this all the way back in 2000. Again, I'm leaning towards his side because of the concept art and because he has cred. He's not some schmuck off the street, just trying to say like, hey, I came up with this before everyone else did. So it doesn't look good for Disney, but as Gerard was saying over break, it's Disney. He's gonna lose. They're gonna find something, or they're just gonna keep.
Settle. Yeah, I think it might be more likely that they settle because this is it seems to be like a pretty solid lawsuit, and of course we only have access to the documents that they're giving us with this article, so it could be biased. But they also talk about how Disney is purported to have stolen at least story elements for The Lion King, Toy Story, Monsters Inc., Inside Out, Up. And some of their other ones.
Well, describe what you mean stolen, because some of those are ripped off from classical
stories. Even Shakespeare stole.
You can't copyright an idea, just a general idea. These are just animal character mock-ups.
And technically, this is just, Zootopia is a buddy cop movie where the cop works with kind of a lowlife.
Well, it said he provided a treatment, a synopsis, character descriptions, character illustrations, and other materials, and provided a title, which his title was Zootopia.
Okay, well, yeah.
Makes sense.
Also, I do find it interesting that the guy who wrote Big Trouble in Little China and Total Recall came up with the idea for Zootopia.
That is very interesting. But see, apparently he was working on a Disney movie called Blaze that they ended up never making, which is why he pitched it to them in 2009.
Is that about anthropomorphic marijuana?
I doubt that Disney would be interested in that.
Hey, I didn't think they'd be interested in a whole movie about cars, but...
After Sausage Party, anything's possible.
Apparently that Blaze movie was based on a Stan Lee comic book, and then apparently this writer who wrote Total Recall, I can't find his name right here, he said that Stan Lee told him that he was his favorite writer.
Okay, but Stan Lee says that to everybody.
That's what
Excelsior, what year is it?
I actually have a question about cars. Does anyone else find that blue female car pretty attractive?
All right, we need
Tanner?
Yeah. Tanner? Yeah.
You find her voice sexy?
I'm not a mechanophiliac.
Yeah, it is a real thing. It's kind of weird when you hear interviews.
Yeah, no, that's a real thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Just with the movie cars or with actual cars?
Physical sexual attraction to cars.
Yeah.
I wonder if those people are into the movie Cars. Like they're into like
their dream movie.
I like it, but I'm not into it.
That's probably like their dream. I don't know. No one could pretend to know the thought process behind being attracted to cars. But you gotta I don't know if it's the
born that way
inanimate part of it that makes people attracted, or if they like the anthropomorphized cars. But I'm sure there's a healthy dose of both groups.
I like Mater.
Yeah.
Let's go to DeviantArt and find out.
They got a great voice actor on Mater.
Yep.
Larry the Cable Man.
Tried and true.
It's Larry the Cable Guy, by the way. I don't know if you know that it's not man, it's guy.
Well, tell my family that.
Really?
They only refer to him as Larry the Cable Man.
No.
Yeah.
Wow. And I don't think that I'm stepping on any toes here by saying that your family is pretty much his demographic.
Mm-hmm.
Good old Dan Whitney moving on up through the ranks. Joe Mater.
You need to address him as his official name.
Yeah.
It is Sir Larry the Cable Man.
Sir Man. Or Sir Guy, if we're going to be appropriate. But yeah, I'm sure everyone here knows Dan Whitney is Larry the Cable Guy.
Smart guy. He's worth $85 million.
Yeah, he's a great businessman.
Yeah.
But Larry the Cable Guy was just a character he would call into a radio show with, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they got popular, so then he started doing stand-up as him. He was, just a stand-up, a regular old stand-up.
Just a stand-up guy.
Just goes to show you guys who are feeling out and down about doing this radio show, you might one day walk out of here as the next Larry the Cable Man.
Yeah, Charlie.
True.
Later done. I hope I don't owe him money.
That's you never know.
You just killed the radio show's budget right there.
Well, if that's the case, then I guess I owe Kevin Hart a little bit of money. Let's see. Before we get around into nerd culture, what were people's thoughts on Zootopia? Because I didn't realize this, and Gerard said he didn't realize either. It was the second highest grossing original film of all time, right behind Avatar.
It's a very good movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Also, it it beat Frozen's record, which I'm thrilled about because I don't like Frozen very much.
I can't stand Frozen.
I don't hate it. I just don't like it very much. And just for Zootopia to be so much better and beat it, I'm very happy about. Also, it's just a great freaking movie.
I didn't see Zootopia.
I fell asleep halfway through.
How dare you?
God, Charlie.
Jeez.
God.
It's called A Hustle, Sweetheart.
What?
Yeah, you'd know that if you watched the movie.
Jason Bateman, but apparently it made over 1 billion at the box office.
Oh my
Wow.
God. What was their
Animated movie
budget?
with talking animals. That movie Sing made like a ton
$2.
of movie as well. And that
Is
was
anybody following Moana? That movie?
I watched
I
Moana.
did not
That's a
see it
good one,
yet.
too.
It was a really good movie.
No, I haven't seen it. The songs from it are huge because you had
Mhm.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, I didn't know he did the music.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that man's
Yep.
working.
And he's also doing the music for the new Mary Poppins. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
out there.
non-stop working now, yeah.
Sheesh. Hamilton's coming to Wilmington or to Raleigh, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
With the Broadway cast?
Not Broadway.
Okay.
Yeah. 150 million budget, $1 billion box office.
Yep.
That's impressive.
Yep, those producers are happy.
It's on my list on Netflix. I just haven't gotten around to
I have.
watching it.
Have you seen Shrek the Musical?
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's very good.
No, I haven't.
I really
Wow,
enjoyed it.
actually, 150 million. That's kind of a lot for
For an animated movie.
Well, when you
yeah.
had a ton of, the voice cast is all big names, and then you had a
Right,
bunch
yeah.
of cameos as
But
well.
not big enough that it's not even like as big as the Toy Story cast. Not to diss like Jason Bateman, but I mean, you can't be that much.
Two different time periods.
Yeah,
Shakira
I
might
don't
have
know,
been a
man.
lot.
Jason
I mean-
Bateman is pretty.
Well,
he's definitely A-list.
Well, also, I mean, like, think about when Toy Story, like, I feel like there's more bigger names in this, where Toy Story had, like, a few big ones and then some not so big, where this
Yeah.
one seems kind of packed with, like, people that they gotta give a large sum of money to.
You know,
That's a
now that I'm
huge
thinking about
difference.
it-
Wow. Yeah.
But it's also 20 years ago, something to keep in mind.
You know, something
Yeah,
that I
true.
just also thought is that
Look up
Zootopia's
Toy
world-
Story 3 budget. Let's see.
Go ahead, Tanner.
Zootopia's world is very intricately designed. Like, there's
Yeah.
so much detail in that world versus a lot of
200
other
There we go.
animated movies.
Yeah.
Knew it.
All right, what was that, Tanner?
Yeah, sorry.
we gotta stop talking
Sorry.
over each other.
I was just saying that Zootopia's world is. You know what? I don't even care. I don't even care.
Welcome to my world, Tanner.
Should we share the budget information for the listeners?
I don't even care.
Yeah, Toy Story 3.
Tanner, don't shoot up me. That's the only thing.
Oh, you're not the one getting shot up, Charlie.
All right, let's give Charlie a break. Let's talk about Toy Story 3. Budget $200 million.
Yeah.
So 50
and
million
the first
more.
Toy Story was 30 million.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy, man. And with Toy Story, the two main big names, of course, you had. But then it was mainly like voice actors. You didn't really know the actors themselves, but you recognized those voices.
But that was a big deal as well. That was not, except with the exception of Robin Williams as the genie in Aladdin, you did not get celebrities to do these animated movies. That was a very new thing that Pixar brought in with the first Toy Story movie. And now, of course, it's basically just celebrities in these movies, as opposed to regular voice actors.
Yeah, there's a very good voice acting documentary.
I know
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
voice, very good. Except, you know what the problem with that documentary is? They clearly had a rights problem with Warner Brothers. Because they clearly want to reference Looney Tunes and Batman a lot, and they can never show the clips. And there's a great clip they're describing one of the best voice acting performances by Mel Blanc, who did almost all of Looney Tunes, where it's Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck doing impressions of each other, which for two fictional characters that guy had to make up the voices for, then doing impressions of the other characters is just an amazing scene, and they're describing it and they can't show it. And I remember thinking that whole time, I'd like to see that scene as they're talking about it.
The reason I bring it up is because Tom Hanks' brother, I don't remember his real name. Tanner, do you know this?
No.
Okay, he looks...
Tom Tanks.
Tom Tanks. He looks just like his brother if he was in better shape. And he sounds exactly like him.
Really?
Like, he's talking, and he's got this air about him. Like, Tom Hanks seems like a really cool dude, but his brother, it just has this air about him that he's, actually done something, but he hasn't done a thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I have to get in the mindset, because he does the voiceovers for, the Toy Story games, since they sound so similar. And he's acting like he's such a big deal, and he's like, yeah, and then I talk like this, and now I'm Tom. Now I'm Tom. And
wow.
you hear it now, and he's a little more nasally. And I'm like, dude, you haven't done anything. You are just coasting on your brother.
Please leave Ham alone.
Yeah.
It's Tom
And then-
Tanks?
Ham Tanks.
Tom Hanks' third brother is a rapper. If you have any.
No, it's his son.
Oh, it's his son. That's
Chet.
even worse.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not
Have
Clint
you-
Eastwood's son?
That's Tom Hanks.
I'm sure he raps too. But Tom Hanks definitely has a rapper son named Chet. He goes by Chet Hayes.
Oh, it's so bad.
Gerard just handed me a picture of Tom Hanks' brother, and yeah, it looks like him.
He's in better shape, right?
I don't know. A little bit. He looks a bit younger. I assume he probably is, but he's also bald in all these pictures.
He doesn't have the like jowl second like neck hanging downy thing that Tom's developed over the past few years. His acting sack, as I call it, as he's become more renowned actor, his sack is...
This is where he stores his talent.
Yes, exactly.
But so Toy Story 3 with 200 million, so that's 50 million more than Zootopia. Toy Story 3 made 1.067 billion.
I'm gonna go and look at Toy Story 2's budget.
I'm curious as to what Toy Story 3 did with the extra 150 million from Toy Story
90 million.
1. You see what I mean?
Like some of it's inflation.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah.
And I mean, despite the fact that they're two animated movies with the same designs, you can watch each, back to back, and you'll notice a significant improvement in the animation.
Yeah. I'm sure some people demanded more money too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm sure T-Rex was like, I'm not coming back unless you give me like an extra $1 million.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna break up that voice cast between the Mr. Potato Head, Miss Potato Head. You have Jesse now. You have. Of course, you have Bullseye.
What if it's just one actor that's being like that? What if it's just Tim Allen? Like,
Tim Allen.
How about instead of 1 million this time, you guys give me 50 million? Like, God, we can't lose him. Like,
but I did want to say,
brother.
I forgot what I was saying, but I just remembered. So Tom Hanks has the rapper son, but then he also has Colin Hanks, his other son, who's a super successful actor.
He didn't claim one of them, did he? Like, there was one that he went a while, and he's like, "That's not my son."
What?
And then after a while, he's like, "Yeah, it's my son."
Really? Because I love Colin Hanks.
Yeah, Colin Hanks is great.
awesome.
It's either him or Clint Eastwood. I get them confused. They both have weird relationships with their sons.
Yeah.
And
wait, Clint Eastwood is Tom Hanks' son?
No, Clint Eastwood is Tom Hanks' father.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
So I just always wonder what that dynamic is like, because Tom and Colin are distinguished actors. They've made names for themselves, and then
Colin's
you have
not
this.
that great.
Yeah, Colin. Okay, no, hold on.
Have you seen Fargo?
No, Sydney. I agree with you. He was amazing in Fargo, but I'm also with Tyler. He's not as distinguished as Tom Hanks.
Well, clear. Tom has 30 more years on him.
And also he's not as good, but also I don't really know what else to add because he's just not as good. But he does a lot of fun roles.
Fargo, the Netflix series.
The series.
Well, it's
Okay.
FX, but yes.
Yeah. I don't think any of it's on Netflix, but it should be. But if you have
None of it's
Hulu,
on Netflix, in fact, Tyler.
yeah, if you have,
What have I done to you?
More like Fartgo, am I right?
Come on, up top.
but yeah, if anyone hasn't seen that Fargo series, go ahead and watch both series because they're seasons. Because
What's it about?
It's just the Fargo movie.
I don't.
Oh my God.
Well, it's gonna take way too long to
All right,
describe
all right.
It's just like a real world gritty crime narrative.
It's
Okay.
like
But it's super exaggerated for the sake of comedy.
Well, yeah, it's like a dark comedy, and the story we were talking about that happened, and I'm sure you guys heard about this, is pretty depressing, so let's not dwell on it.
Mm-hmm.
But, the guy shot his girlfriend several times and then ran her over last week. Do you guys remember that?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Wilmington here.
yes, I did hear that because it's very close to my girlfriend's house.
Oh, yeah, man. This guy shot his girlfriend several times. She was trying to escape. He ran her over, and then he walked over, stood over, and shot her at point-blank range. But that's almost taken directly out of a Fargo series.
Oh, that's
like, stuff
weird.
like that happens. But
So we're about to have a movie made? Is film coming back to Wilmington?
yeah, it looks like it.
That
But,
was my sister. Please don't make too much jokes about it, Tyler.
But those are just like the type of situations that happen in Fargo, and in Fargo, it's not as senseless and despicable as that was, but
Despicable Me.
and just real quick, because we're about to take our second break, the Toy Story 2 budget was $90 million, so they increased by $60 million each time. I don't know if that's just for inflation. Obviously, the actors definitely wanted more money each time, and they put more money in the production budget. But then some of that has to go towards inflation.
Some of it also has to go to marketing.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that's just the production budget, $90 million. But what was I going to say? About Zootopia is the animation in that is flawless, and it is really intricately designed because they have so many different areas. You have like the step and how they divide it up and stuff like that. So
to me, something that's telling is they had that movie Sing that came out last year. Did you guys see that? And you can just look at what's like quality. They put a lot of effort into it versus lazy.
Exactly.
Because there's no reason for that to be animals except they just want to sell it on like talking animals and singing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I never even saw an ad for that. I just saw like a poster at the theater. I never saw a commercial about it.
I just
once.
knew about it
And
because
then
Seth
it made
MacFarlane's
so
in
much
it.
money. Like,
Seth MacFarlane?
Yeah, Seth MacFarlane's the mouse, I think.
Yeah, he is.
Mm.
And
Because I was fascinated after I found out that it existed and made a ton of money.
They set up, it's called a neural network, wherein they have, this AI run thousands, if not millions of simulations until it finds out, the path that it needs to take for success. So that just led me down this rabbit hole because that's sort of a theory that I think about existence. I think that, whether you want to call it God, a creator, the universe, whatever you want to say, just created everything that's alive now to run it through the gambit and see what the right path to take is. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
is there a right path though?
That's why we're living in a virtual reality, my friends.
Yeah. I mean, it's very easy to make that argument. But, even if it's not a quote-unquote right answer, they could be looking for what the most fulfilled life was,
Yeah.
They put us all, on the earth in these situations. Everyone's born in different situations. No one can control what you're born in.
Yeah.
So, they put us here. They make all these random things happen to us. No two stories are exactly the same.
Uh-huh.
And, it's just an out there theory of mine. But when I saw that there's an actual name for that, it's called a neural network in terms of computing, that was interesting to me. And I don't know, I suppose
That's
no one else has
beautiful,
many
Sydney.
thoughts.
No, well, I used to get hung up on that a lot. Like, what is my right path? What is the perfect path? And it drives you insane because sometimes the right thing is just guessing. You don't know what the right thing is, like especially when I started doing comedy, and I haven't been doing it very long, but I was like, what is my perfect set? What do I love to do? And you don't know until you just keep trying random stuff. And I feel like you just pick up pieces every set and every time you write. And who knows if you'll ever find it, But it's really easy to get hung up on like, oh, am I doing the right thing?
Yeah.
You'll get it.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
On that same vein, I think, you drive yourself crazy if you keep thinking, like, am I making the right decisions?
Yeah.
Or am I going down the path where I'm going to live the most fulfilled life?
Exactly.
Where really there is no right or wrong answer there, and it's all about your attitude, and it's about, like, contentment with what you're doing. It's about, like, knowing what you want to do, pursue it, and then don't second guess yourself, because you'll drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, I think that, because like you said, none of us ever will know.
No.
Maybe after we die, it'll all be revealed to us in the grand scheme. But until then, none of us will know, so you'll drive yourself crazy. But, the way to reconcile that is that, try to take something positive out of any experience.
Everything,
Nothing is pointless, even if it feels like it. Try to squeeze something good and meaningful
Yeah.
out of even the worst experiences.
Right. Well,
So,
it's that everything, literally and realistically is pointless,
Mhm.
and it's about the way existence is in society has built us to yearn for purpose and have to fake it or trick ourselves into thinking there's purpose and that there's reason and fulfillment, and that's where we get the fulfillment, and it's about knowing that and immersing yourself in it anyway and
Mhm.
making yourself think that these specific aspects, which you get to choose and decide for yourself, but that they matter to you, and that's where you seek fulfillment from.
Yeah, I think the most self-actualized people are people who were at one time nihilists, who then realize, well, I'm just gonna be miserable if I keep thinking about this, life this way. So yeah, it may all be meaningless, but I gotta enjoy it while I'm here.
Yeah, you have to add your own value to things.
Yeah.
Yes.
So to conclude, self-driving cars can be easily tricked with a bag of flour and an empty road.
Yes.
I'm like, what just happened to this conversation?
Yeah,
Honestly, I zoned out a little bit because my girlfriend sent me a link. She said, actually, it's an art installation. I started reading that, and I came back to some existential mess. I was like, yeah, I don't like living either. I don't know what's going on here.
Tyler's more comfortable with the train and fast food talk.
Are we going back to that? I'm really excited if we are.
I'm down.
What was an art installation?
Okay, I was half reading that, half trying to be
Deep thoughts on
in the
Prime
moment
Nation
here.
Radio.
So it's on Vice, so it's legitimate. I think the guy might actually have. Okay, this is a long article. I did not read the whole thing.
Coming from the guy who says, I just post articles. I don't
I read some of them.
Do you know how to read, Tyler?
Oh, Charlie, don't. I could have jumped in 5 times when you were talking about your comedy career. No, it's just like,
come on now.
okay.
How's that for you?
When you-
going?
Let's talk about Cloverfield.
When you preface it by saying I just started comedy, that takes away your right to be mean.
I was reading this. The guy might have made like a self-driving car with some software that he has, but he's like, no, self-driving cars actually haven't made it to Greece yet. I'm trying my best to like get something together, but it's mostly meant to be like an artistic expression of like, because he said like a salt circle is it's meant to ward off evil too. So it was a salt circle. There's a lot of stuff there.
That sounds pretty crazy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds pretty out there.
Yeah, I thought it was just gonna be fun. I thought it was just gonna be a self-driving car that's stupid, and now there's a whole bunch of stuff to it.
But
like it's the art installation. I do have the name of it.
Maybe we can look that up. But along those lines, it doesn't look like any self-driving car I've ever seen. It's definitely not a Tesla.
It's Autonomous Trap 001.
Yeah. That's what the video is called. So it's an art thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I could see like modern art. Anything goes as modern art. But I mean, granted, we're not inside the car. We don't know if he was maybe controlling it himself. But well, I don't know. You just kind of discredited your own story.
You know what's weird about self-driving cars? It's like three.
When they
I
start
will
their
tell
comedy
you.
careers.
Like 3 years ago, I started looking into them, and there was a bunch of scrutiny from, every news source I looked at, every website did not like them, and now, like, every Ford commercial, or most, like, Ford and Chevy commercials I see use a self-driving aspect of their car to promote their new car.
You mean like the automatic...
the automatic parking, the stopping, the blind spot, like checking, all that stuff. And it used to be so heavily scrutinized. How did they get over that? Like, how did they get people to forget about that?
People haven't. People are still worried about this. This is not like a... In fact, during testing, Sydney, I was saying, like, you look at the article, they were making points that they still have a lot of kinks to work out, some of which could be lethal. And
they have been lethal already. There's already been
the
deaths.
one person who died.
But what does that compare to, like, sample size wise to human drivers?
Good question.
Is it more safe?
I would guess so.
Well, no, it's exactly the same. I mean, it's not exactly. It's the same thing of like you're more likely to die in a car than a plane crash.
Right.
But it still is understandably like. It's concerning. It's understandably a lot needs to be worked out first.
Also, those crashes, was it human error or was it an error on the side of the machine?
I would say in any of these situations, you got to at least say a little bit of human error, because I know of one circumstance at least where the guy was watching porn while he was driving or while
That's
the car.
why I want a self-driving car. That and sleep.
So in that, I mean, you definitely like if I had a self-driving car, I don't think I could ever get to the point where I could fully relax and not watch the road at all.
And, there's also, like, if we get to the point where cars are going so fast, if we reach that point in the future, we're not going to have the reaction time to drive those cars manually. You will need automatic computers and all that stuff into the car.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, with the rate that technology is progressing, I think that it's going to end up being safer in a couple of years, self-driving cars, because that can remove the human error when it's all boiled down to sensors and cameras and stuff. But then, I mean, all it takes is a glitch or a server malfunction or something like that.
Or someone,
a hackerman.
Someone more malicious to get in there and do something to the cars.
The government controlling the population.
Well, they said in one of the I don't know if it was WikiLeaks or not, but it came out that the CIA definitely has the capability to hack not only smart televisions and phones, but also cars. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Michael Hastings, the guy who wrote for Rolling Stone. He was doing an expose on the head of the CIA, and in the middle of him writing the story, he crashed his car going 80 miles per hour into a tree with, there were like no skid marks, none of the typical things that you see whenever you lose control. No one who knew him thought that he was suicidal. He was at a great point in his life. He was doing the work he was most excited about. So it's long been speculated that the CIA hacked his car and crashed it because he was doing an expose.
What do you mean hacked with this particular...
Took control of the car.
Yeah, they hacked into the computer system, which has been proven. You can do that. I saw a video with someone did it with a Jeep that's Wi-Fi enabled. You can hack into the computer system and just hijack the entire controls of the car.
That's
so
serious,
car companies noticed that and they're encrypting everything, but who knows how long it'll be before people can break that. So, there's definitely no proof that the CIA did anything with Michael Hastings. It's just always been a fishy case, and that was always speculated. And now that it's out there that the CIA definitely has that capability, it's kind of fishy.
See, I'm not even saying just like the government will do that. I'm just saying anyone with, let's say, malicious intent.
The Joker.
Yeah, exactly.
What about Catman?
Ra's al Ghul. Catman's the coolest. Catman is the best DC character. He's the best anti-hero they've got. He's the freaking coolest. So happy he made a cameo.
I know. I brought this up because I knew I would get that reaction.
I love Catman.
You speak like Bernie Sanders when you get excited about Catman. You're like, Catman is the best character I've ever seen. And it's the 1% character.
Okay,
Thomas Blake takes it to the 1%.
He's Bernie Zoidberg. Bernberg.
Zoidbernie.
That's better. Yeah, that's better. So some set photos or videos were surfaced yesterday. Actually, I don't know if it was yesterday, but recently, a Black Panther shooting in...
The superhero or the...
Yeah, we'll clear that up for Charlie one more time. That is the superhero Marvel property, Black Panther, not the Black Panther party that Forrest Gump so famously crashed.
Charlie, not a joke of a question. Did you see the last Captain America where they introduced Black Panther?
No, I don't watch superhero movies. I like Batman, but that's really
Oh,
it.
you're one of those.
I don't have $12 to spend on a superhero movie that I could
You don't have a
watch on
computer
TV.
capable of pirating these movies?
I don't do illegal things, Tyler.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
No illegal thing.
Oh, yeah, he
Nothing.
doesn't even speed, not even a mile over the speed
I
limit.
literally don't.
He
I
goes
don't.
under, which is actually illegal, by the way. You can get pulled for
No,
going
yo,
under.
it's exactly the speed limit.
You told
I'm
me
that guy.
you told me you go under.
Oh, I probably have. Is that really illegal?
Oh yeah, you can get pulled for going
Oh,
under.
For
dang it.
15 under, right?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
too far under.
Yeah.
Ah, I got like 1 or 2 under.
Yeah, I think if you're going like 15
You just
under,
said you were going exactly the speed limit. You just lied on mic, and we just caught you in a lie.
that is illegal.
Yeah.
I like Black Panther.
Yeah, so this was shooting in Busan, South Korea. And we can't pull it up because it's Instagram videos, but I can tell you guys you can go to BBANGSU. Babangsu _ world on Instagram, and you can see some of these videos. It's pretty cool to see, and it's it's really interesting too because they're filming this. We're not seeing it edited and flashy. So the cars are moving relatively slow. In one of these clips, all the cars are moving backwards, which I guess they work that out so it'll help in the edit. But it is interesting that the people are still walking forward. So I wonder. I'll be on the lookout for that scene in the movie, see if anything looks fishy with it. But what did you guys think about Black Panther in Civil War?
Oh, he was like the best part.
Yeah,
He was awesome.
he was awesome.
What's his whole what's his thing? You know what I mean? Like what's his
He
story?
is the Prince of Wakanda, which is a fictional nation that Marvel made up.
Okay.
And in Civil War, his dad dies, so he becomes the king.
Oh.
But the king of I guess it's like the Black Panther is the defender of Wakanda. It's like a mantle that gets passed down.
Very important to note that Wakanda is like the most technologically advanced country in the Marvel.
He looks
universe.
cool. That's why I asked. He looks. I want to like look. Yeah.
Killed it. I can't. It kills me seeing like the DC movies keep botching the costumes, and then Marvel just does like, here's Black Panther. And it looks great.
Yeah.
Tanner, tell me if I'm wrong because I'm sure you will. His suit made out of the same stuff that
Vibranium.
Captain America's
shield
is made out of,
yep,
correct?
Vibranium.
And that is not the same stuff that Wolverine's.
No, that's
No,
adamantium.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Which is stronger?
I think adamantium is actually stronger because I think Wolverine's left like claw marks on the shield.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure adamantium's stronger, but vibranium is the unique properties of that metal that make it more interesting. Like, I forget exactly what properties they
Something
are.
with
Adamantium
kinetic.
is just the most solid metal, unbreakable. It is just the strongest metal. What?
It absorbs.
Yeah. So
It's something with
vibranium
kinetic
is about,
energy.
yeah, that's what makes vibranium cool and special.
Right.
Whereas adamantium is just rock solid. I'm trying to think of all the other made-up metals in the Marvel universe.
Well,
There's
no.
quite a few.
Let's
Alright.
not go into
You
that.
said rock solid.
So Black Panther.
Yeah. So his suit is made of vibranium, and Wakanda is where vibranium is found, which was in the Marvel Cinematic Universe our first sort of introduction to Wakanda was whenever they revealed that's where they found
But
it.
And,
adamantium's rock solid, so you got to remember.
Oh yeah, and also he was originally introduced as a supporting character in Fantastic Four, and their
All right.
costumes are made of unstable molecules, and unstable molecules were patented by Reed Richards for the
Mr.
costume.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Yes.
Fascinating.
See, this stuff is really cool. I like
Yeah,
one day
yeah.
I really want to jump into it,
Well,
and
that's-
start
that's-
looking at comics.
Anytime, man. Like that's
Well-
people always make a big deal. Like, where do I start? Just jump in anywhere.
I'm
Yeah.
like a Wikipedia comics fan. I've only read graphic novels. I've never read serials or anything like that. But I've spent hundreds of hours on Wikipedia just going down the holes and learning as much as I can about different superhero mythologies and stuff like that. But Black Panther, I gotta say Spider-Man was the highlight of Civil War. But Black Panther was definitely...
To me, Spider-Man was a glorified cameo. Black Panther actually had a reason to be there. He actually had, like, motivations the whole time.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
I mean, I agree with that, but just whenever you see Queens flash on the screen and you know what's coming, I every time I see that, even to this day, I get this crazy, like, childlike feeling. It's so... Oh, it's so awesome, man.
Childlike feeling.
Yeah, that's what cannibals like in their candy. Plus Marissa Tomei as Aunt May does not hurt at all.
Candibles?
Dude, that would be
I
good.
was reaching with mine. You didn't have to reach further with yours. So we don't have enough time to get into another topic. We got about a minute. So Michael B. Jordan,
Yes. Michael B. acting.
yeah, is playing the villain in the Black Panther movie, whose name is Eric Killmonger. Killmonger.
All right.
Oh yeah, Marvel's got a long history of, well, Jessica Jones' villain is Kilgrave.
Yeah.
One of my favorite villains of all time from the DC universe is Sinestro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of some other. Oh, like Riddler's real name is Edward Nygma, as in Enigma.
Oh well, Batman characters are like the quote unquote
Oswald
worst
Cobblepot
for
is
that.
the Penguin.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a name for someone who should be the Penguin.
Harvey Dent. Need I say more?
All right. Well, we're about to go into our third and final break. When we come back, we'll let Charlie talk to us at least. Maybe even show a video.
Yeah, we can look at the video.
Yeah, and
I'm out of here.
all right. Thanks, guys. Join us back in about 10 minutes.
So yeah, I went to Food Lion. They had good stuff. The purchases: 4-pack of ramen for $1.28, which is good. A little bag of green onions for 79 cents. Really fresh, good green onions. And a sleeve of garlic for $1.48. End up being $3.55. Any other ingredients? Just water, 1 egg, and soy sauce. So, you can make a really good ramen. It's called Jiandan Ramen, which means simple ramen in Chinese.
Nice.
So,
and do you get 4 servings of that?
yeah, you get 4 servings. Well, each you get 8 actually. Each serving serves 2 people.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can kind of mess with if you want more eggs. Obviously, just add another egg. And if you want more or less flavoring, just add more or less salt and soy sauce, stuff like that. So yeah, if we want to start it up, I can go over the steps as it's going.
Perfect. And we'll give Charlie the floor here so he can narrate.
Yeah, so this is just
Really?
me.
Yeah.
No, it's good. Me shopping, me getting all the stuff. I got some weird stares in the supermarket for having a camera, but they were cool.
I like the buggy point of view.
Yeah. It was
You call
cool.
the cart a buggy?
Yeah, you never called a cart a buggy?
No.
I call it cards.
These are all the ingredients. Didn't end up using the celery because it was old, and I thought it was going to be good, but it wasn't. You're going to want to add 4 cups of water to a pot.
Nice kitchen.
Thank you. It's not mine, but
I just broke in somewhere.
Yep, that's it. I hope they don't notice. 4 cups of water. Put it on medium to high heat. Let that boil. It's going to take a little
What's
bit.
the D in the
Oh my
background
God,
stand
that's
for?
a beautiful
Dawson.
Yeah, I'm a guest Dawson.
Yeah.
Jesus, that really is.
My mother loves decorating. You don't
Where's
want
your mom's
to, you want to dice up these green onions.
We're making him fall behind.
Dice up this garlic.
I don't think we're making him do that.
Now you have a
anymore.
gun.
No, I think
pro,
it's
is
me.
that-
Yeah. All right.
Nice
Slice
pants.
the
Thank
finger.
you.
Slice the finger. It's
There's-
like chopped where I'm always hoping they cut themselves.
My mom cut her finger something fierce. in
Yeah.
the
Oh, I'm
kitchen.
sorry to hear that. Your mother's a nice lady.
So yeah, and then you want to get your ramen. I throw away the flavor packet. It's basically just salt.
Ooh,
And
burn.
yeah, ramen.
You
I
showed
got
that
you.
packet what was up.
Put in the ramen. Stir it around for a couple minutes.
Mm.
And then at the 2-minute mark, you're gonna want to crack your egg, and it's really simple. People think the egg gets all messy in there. You literally just crack it and don't stir, and a little shell builds around the egg.
It's a masterful.
That was a great
Yeah.
crack.
Thank you.
I can't
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that. I just smash it and try not to like.
I just
Uh,
smash it and pick out the shell later.
Yeah.
I can do
Exactly.
that. It's. It was a pretty amateur crack. It was very slow.
Take it off the heat.
I know something about good cracks, Cam. All right, that was
Take-
all right.
Take it off the heat at around 4 minutes. Let it sit, and then add your garlic and onions, and let it just sit in that hot water. Add some soy sauce if you like some flavoring. Stir it around a little bit.
Why are you getting the sultry voice?
We're
some
just
salt,
gonna paint a little
some
blood
salt and
right here.
pepper.
Add a little salt.
And then that's really it. It's really simple. It's pretty healthy because you're not adding the ramen flavoring. I don't know. I enjoyed it. It's a really basic meal for $3.55. It's 8 meals.
Nice.
really
Yeah,
good,
I
yeah.
got to try that because we were talking about during the break. I ate a ton of ramen as a kid, so I'm like disillusioned with it. But with this sprucing it up a little bit, I might try that out.
Yeah, I mean, you can do anything you want to it. Just don't add that flavoring.
Yeah,
Or I'm
yeah.
just
And dump in the
adamant
toilet.
about it.
Yeah,
You can dump it in
yeah.
the toilet. Yeah, you can make some toilet ramen.
So I'm noticing though you don't have low sodium soy sauce.
No, I don't. Yeah.
And you just go.
And you're adding
I just
salt.
go in with the salt and pepper. Yeah.
So the egg just kind of makes the consistency thicker.
Yeah, and for the egg, if you like it really soft and gooey in the middle, put it in at about 3 minutes, and then take it off the heat at 4 minutes. So leave the egg in for about a minute. And if you want it medium, put it in at 2 minutes. And if you want it completely cooked, put it in at 1 minute.
Well, Brian brought up a good point on the live chat.
Mhm.
Say I'm a homo again.
What do you say, Dan?
He didn't see you wash your hands.
Good point.
I did wash my hands.
And he said you have MILF hands.
Are you even old enough to turn on the stove?
Brian's stealing the show and he's not even here.
You're all homos.
And you were wearing your pajamas. So
I was wearing my pajamas.
who
I actually,
knows what you did with those hands?
Wait, what kind of pajamas do you wear?
I have some pole.
I sleep buck naked and put on whatever I had on yesterday in the morning, and those are my pajamas.
That was a shirt from Banana Republic and some polo pants, and that describes my life in one outfit.
And so that was $4 food groups every
That's
week.
$4 food groups.
Charlie's going to be bringing us some recipes around the $4 range.
Get Brian to just come in and do commentary just for the $4.
Apparently, Brian was with your mother at some point
Oh
in
my
the last couple of days.
He said he recognized the kitchen.
There it is.
For real, though, that was like an Iron Man kitchen. That was ridiculous. I've never seen a stove like that.
Oh, you mean
I
Iron
know.
Chef of America? Or like-
You know what sucks about that stove is all the pans dip back, or because the pans are weighted
Oh,
out to
that's-
be on a gas stove, and that one's completely flat, not raised at all. So they always dip back, so you only get to use 1/4 of the pan when you're cooking things.
Dude, my stove,
So-
it's always it's crooked one way or the other. So I have to constantly watch if I'm cooking eggs. I have to constantly move it around to get the right balance. which is
Yeah.
not how you
Yeah,
cook
it's kind of like
eggs.
that.
Yeah, we have
Uh-huh.
this one wonky pan. Everyone's just got goofy cooking stories.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
So that wraps up the daily segment. Let's get into some games.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play press conference. So we're gonna send Tyler Wood into the old soundproof booth over there. And what we're gonna do on air is come up with who he is. He can be a fictional character. He can be a historical character, political, anything like that.
I'll tell you who he is. He's a dink.
You gonna take that, Tyler? So
He doesn't have a microphone and headphones anymore.
no, yeah. Let's
Yeah, good
actually
riddance.
there are headphones in there.
Over there.
Yeah, we should have moved those. Hopefully he won't cheat. So the goal is we're going to choose which character he is, and then we're going to field him questions as if we're
Okay.
the press, and he's going to have to guess who he is based off the questions. So who do we think he should be?
Macho Man Randy Savage.
I
I don't know. I don't know
too easy
anything
for
about.
Tyler.
Yeah, I don't know anything
But
about.
it's got to be someone Tyler
Um,
knows, too, that he can guess.
Young rapper, young man.
Young Ma. Do we know anything about Young
yes,
Ma?
that's
I know
the thing.
nothing
is-
about Young Ma.
Yeah, Gerard, you'd have to give me some questions to ask. All I know is
No one knows anything about Young Ma.
Maybe we should make him Ruby Doo.
that's not bad. That's not bad. I don't know. I feel like that might be too easy.
Yeah.
Probably.
Let's start off with that, and then we can send someone else in there if we
Yeah.
want to do
Okay,
another one.
we'll
Yeah.
try.
So what should some questions be?
Well,
Well,
she's
yeah,
the
well-
mother of Scrappy Doo.
Is that who she is?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll just all think of questions, on our own. And
I'll
then-
pull
Or no,
up
I thought
some.
we give answers.
No, that's the
No.
other game. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the other game. We might get around to Reverse Jeopardy later today, but if this is fun, we'll just keep cycling people out.
Yeah.
So can someone, Gerard, would you mind grabbing Tyler?
All right, guess we're gonna be waiting a long time here.
I'm sure Brian Granger's going to have some words.
Yep, the dead air. Can't have it.
Dude, in my family, dead air is just toxic.
Dead air is
I'll
so
just-
bad.
I will scream, and I'm not anyone in my family would just freak out if there's dead air.
Yeah.
There's got to be, even if it's music, to keep us all from thinking about how miserable we are with each other.
All right, so
I know at least one member of my family is listening to this.
Tyler Wood.
All right, Tyler.
Completely soundproof, except for walking through there. There's a 40-second delay on the television.
And you could
Well,
hear
I
it?
plugged my ears.
Okay,
I
okay.
could hear it, but I was like, okay.
I also realized we
And
left the
then
headphones in
The
there.
headphones, I heard that, and I was just sitting in the room playing Rangers. Okay.
So we'll unplug that. The
He
next
knows
person
who he
goes
is.
in. Yeah,
No, I
you might,
don't.
You might. Okay.
I feel like
We'll
he's
see.
got to know who he is.
We'll
Okay.
There's no way plugging your ears stops you from hearing.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming to this press conference. I'll start off by taking any questions anybody has.
So, what was it like?
Yes, you in the front row.
What was it like growing up with a brother who was so much more famous than you?
I really enjoyed it. You know, I look a lot like him, so I was able to, you know, get a good grasp on, you know, what it was like to love a volleyball, but also be a toy myself. Yes, you.
I have a question. I'm just curious. Do you feel it was morally acceptable to use your kid for fame and fortune?
Absolutely.
I have a follow-up question about the kid. He's quite a handful, and he's caused a lot of major inconveniences. In fact, full feature film worth of mischief took the entirety of the feature film to figure out that your son was even behind it too. So do you have any plans to keep that little boy in line, or?
I've started locking him in the cellar when I leave the house, just to
Okay.
make sure that you know there's no other.
You're bad.
Your son hangs
Yes,
out.
you, sir.
Your son hangs out with some people who love to get into situations, kind
Some
of
young
messy
fellas.
situations. Yeah,
Some
some
young
young
gentlemen.
fellas, some young ladies, just a group of some interesting people, and they love to get into situations that might be dangerous. How do you feel about that? Are you scared for him?
Frightened.
Frightened? Okay.
Absolutely. I want to kill him myself
All
before
right.
someone else can.
Then why don't you?
Yes,
if I
you,
may,
sir. Yes.
Then why don't you? You are his, guardian after all. Unless you've given guardianship to your brother, your famous brother. I mean, that relationship's unclear now. It almost seems like your child has more to do with your brother than you.
You're right.
Have you ever been called a hot dog
Yes,
before?
you, sir. You go ahead with your question.
Have you ever been called a hot dog before?
A sausage man, but never a hot dog.
That's weird for you to be called a sausage man. But
Yes, sir. You, sir.
Have you yourself ever had the inclination to solve any mysteries?
On the side, but I was afraid it would interact with too much with the rest of the
the gang, huh?
the gang. Yes, the rest of my dealings. I run a grocery store in my main time.
That's unusual for someone of the species of you.
Well, as you can see, the rest of my family speaks anyway, so I think the fact that I'm running a grocery store is the least of our problems here.
So, sir, I understand, or excuse me.
I just now got the family, so...
Yeah. So, excuse me, I misspoke. I misspoke by even assuming your gender or species. But I understand that you had a recent bout of amnesia. Do you remember who you are currently?
I know the family to which I belong, but I'm still able to take a couple more questions.
Okay.
All right.
So your son is pretty wacky, and he likes to eat a lot with his friend, who I think we all know what they're doing before they eat.
The boys touched.
Okay.
Let's move on to
Charlie,
this topic.
do you know who you're talking to right now?
I think I do.
He's talking
I
to
think-
someone of the Dew clan.
You are a very attractive person.
I am Ruby Dew.
Yeah. Just to clarify,
Hot dog.
Charlie, I don't think you were here when we went over the Scooby-Doo family
The
tree.
audience was here when we went over.
Yeah. But Scrappy Doo is Ruby's son, not Scooby.
Who is what?
Scooby is
Ruby
is the
is Scooby's
son
sister.
of Dada and Mumsy Dew.
And his actual name is Scoobert Cornelius Dew the
What?
third. or
Dubert.
fourth?
It's Dubert.
No,
Scoobert Dubert.
Cornelius Dew. And he's got
Yeah.
a brother, Horton Dew. a
Yeah,
sister,
Horton here's a
Ruby
do.
Yeah.
Horton here's a do.
Oh,
Where does Whoopsie Dew? Is that a cousin?
No, it's Scooby's niece or nephew for
This is
Whoopsie.
his Thomas.
Because Spooky Doo is Scooby's brother. I
Whoopsie
believe.
Doo is Horton here's a do's child.
No, she is not. She is Spooky Doo's child.
I think Cameron has a family tree right
I
there.
Yeah,
I'm
he
looking
does.
at a
I'll
family
get a
tree.
better family tree.
So Bivens, if you're watching, Scooby-Doo is definitely going to be our running thing. I'll go ahead and mention Cloverfield.
I
But-
mentioned it earlier. I was like, let's talk about Colossal, so I could mention Cloverfield.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Right.
Okay, I'm looking at another family tree, and yeah, it shows that it's Spooky Doo's child instead. But on the one I was just looking at, said Horton here's a do.
So the bloodlines have been muddled a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
they
questionable.
Okay, so just to catch you up on Brian. Brian said,
Oh,
"Good,
God.
good show, guys. Seriously, followed by Cameron was on the first episode of Teen Mom, followed by Charlie's a test tube baby. Brian says, I've got a sausage. And then Scrappy is Joe Pesci.
Was I really on the first episode of Teen Mom?
Probably.
Man, Brian, yeah, your commentary is invaluable, man. Thank you for that. Really, he is stealing the show.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Stay tuned.
So let's do one more press conference, even if we run over a little bit on time. We don't have any more breaks to take, so we can let this thing go as long as we want. So let's play one more round of press conference. Who wants to go into the room?
I'll leave.
Go for it. And
don't forget to plug your ears.
Yeah, or plug your ears while you're walking, and then unplug those headphones, so there's not to be any cheating. And in the meantime, while we have...
So he's going to be Whoopsie-Doo, right?
Oh, Spooky Doo.
I don't know enough about any of those other dudes.
I don't know enough about Cam. What does he know? What fictional or historical figures?
He knows Adult Swim.
Yeah, we can't really do any like comic stuff.
It's
What about a historical figure?
What about
we can-
Jesus
we can
Christ?
we can do
Is that
a,
too?
Actually,
I think it's probably too on the nose.
Yeah, that'd be so
Moses.
easy.
about Andrew Jackson.
What about
Okay.
Michael Jackson?
Eh.
Both.
I prefer.
I don't know much about Andrew Jackson. I think he was a mean person.
He's
Yeah.
a mean person, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
so-
on the $100
$20 bill.
$20 bill.
You're going to college soon?
I'm gonna try.
College.
I'm gonna try.
But that's why he doesn't know money.
Yeah, yeah. I know sense.
You're telling me he doesn't know money? Did you see that kitchen?
That's not my kitchen.
Harriet Tubman isn't bad.
Hashtag not my kitchen.
All right.
You guys want to do Harriet Tubman?
I
Yeah.
mean, she's like a 5, but yeah, I would.
We'll see how this. We'll see how this goes with Cameron. It could be disastrous.
Look at him.
I didn't know that camera was on.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Jesus, hold on.
All right. So we're going with Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like a
Yeah.
psycho.
After you take that picture, Gerard. Oh look, he's preparing for it now. You can see him in that. He's. What am I doing? Gerard. Oh, thanks, man. Oh man.
Okay, I guess we're ready to have him back. All right, here he comes.
Good old Cameron, always entertaining.
Jesus.
And now he gets to look at himself staring as he walks in.
You're like a psycho.
Look how creepy you are.
That's going to be the thumbnail for today's episode.
Look at it. Look at it. We had to look at it. You have to look at it.
Unblinking. Oh, you can tell there's just no soul.
Don't remind me. I took the step in.
Now you're doing like the De Niro. You talking to me? Yeah. You talking to me?
All right.
All right. So yeah, let's start with the press conference. Cameron, you want to open it up?
I'll take your question.
Oh yes. I want to say first of all, congratulations on your retirement from the train community.
Tyler,
Am I Thomas the Choo Choo Train?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, I would like to ask a question. I'm just wondering, how do you respond to the criticism that you taking a man's role is just political correctness?
How do I respond to that?
Yes, how do you respond to the criticisms
That me taking a man's role, like, is this
that traditionally man's role is just a form of political correctness to appease people?
I mean, you know, I feel like there's some people that have had advantages historically, and then there's people
You know that
who
better
haven't.
than most.
Yep.
Don't
And so I'm swooping in, and I'm doing the right thing here. I'm just trying to catch up with the times. All right. Yes, you again, sir.
I'll give you $20 to go into the basement.
You'll give me $20.
Yeah, are you happy with the photo that was selected that's going to grace our money here soon?
I don't even understand what the hell you guys are asking me at this point. Did you guys pick someone that I'm even gonna know?
Yeah, we ask.
It's been alleged that Brian Granger says that you look like Shabba Ranks.
Oh no!
I'm not understanding a thing you guys are saying. I don't know who Shabba Ranks is.
Oh, also,
I swear
shut
to
up,
God,
Tanner.
if this is someone from Marvel.
From Brian, shut up, Tanner.
Okay.
That's
Oh. I love when Gerard laughs like that. Man. That is hilarious. I can't wait till we tell you who it is and we can pull up a side by side.
Okay. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Someone says you're a bit tubby. I don't think so.
Oh, I also wonder just what was it like establishing really the first subway system in America?
Good, bad? You seem befuddled.
What was it like? I mean, like, it was cool, I guess. What's your question?
So you certainly had a difficult life, in the early stages. So are you able to put your past behind you now that you've been able to help so many people?
You used to sneak around a lot with some other fellows, and how do you stay out of the public's eye that was on you at all times?
Other than being dead for 200 years.
Other than being dead for 200 years.
Yeah.
But when you were
Good
alive,
hint.
how did you stay out of the public's eyes, who were
I've
mostly
been-
always on you?
I have been dead for 200 years.
Around. I don't know if it's quite 200, but
This is from a listener. They wanted to know. This is from Brian Granger. Were you the first black woman involved in a train? This is what happens when you tell Tanner that you know more than he does.
Yeah, he's covering his ears in a soundproof room.
all you'd have to do is, maybe he's getting a little bit of audio from those
should-
headphones, but you just got to unplug them.
We might want to figure out who he is.
What about
Yeah.
Could it be a game of itself? Just put someone in that room. Just,
Talk about
Make
him.
them think that we're...
All right, Tanner, you can come back in. What's the game? No, nothing. We're just done with the show. Have a good night, everybody.
We're just finally done talking bad about you.
Talking bad. That is
and Frank.
AMC. And Frank. Whoa.
Okay.
How about
Also looks like Chopper Ranks.
I say either Elmo or Anne Frank. Either of
Taylor
those are
Swift.
good. I don't know much about Elmo. I can't get
Yes,
Yeah.
I feel like
Cookie Monster. You could be Cookie
I don't really
Monster.
know much about Sesame Street in general.
Oh, man.
We're overcomplicating the game. It's
Yeah.
very it's like.
Let's just throw out.
Oh,
a
also
name.
there's another asset to this that we can do at a different time where it's like you're that person doing something crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'd be like
Seth.
Cookie Monster is opening up his own line of dictionaries.
Oh, okay. I see
Yeah.
what you're saying. Cool.
That sounds, yeah.
Seth
Um,
Rogen.
What was that?
Seth Rogen.
Seth
Seth
Rogen.
Rogen.
That's a good one.
Rogen,
That's
yeah.
a good one.
All
All right, yeah, let's do that. I like that one.
Pull him on in. Thanks a lot, Gerard. I don't mean. Yeah, we don't mean to just order
Thanks a
you
lot,
around.
Dead air.
all right. Now you've done it.
All right, I'll begin this press conference by taking a few questions.
How-
Yes, you, the young one.
How does it feel to just be the worst?
Well,
Okay.
I think
I don't
worst
agree.
is a matter of opinion.
No.
Definitely a matter of opinion. Yeah.
I think that, in my opinion, I am the worst,
Mm-hmm.
but it might not be that case to some people. I want to serve as a role model, people who,
Yeah.
for them, I'm not the worst.
Good.
Yes, you, sir.
So, clearly you've gotten into the realm where you're sort of producing your own films and everything like that. But before then, did you feel pigeonholed by the roles that you had taken?
Yes, I felt a bit... I did feel like I was being typecast constantly by these roles in these not very classic movies by critic standards, but I think that a lot of people found them enjoyable. Any others?
Scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love James?
Ah, God, that's a rock solid question. I think I would rate him like a 7, like 70s when my movies were popular.
Do you like your older stuff or do you like your newer stuff?
Well, I mean, I guess the last time I made anything was pretty recently, so I guess the newer stuff.
What would you say is your golden year? This is my follow-up question. What year do you think you made, like, probably your best film
What year
or best
was
film?
9/11?
I don't think you made many films around then.
That's not a serious question, is it?
Interesting. Okay, yeah, you're right. I didn't make too many films around then. I made them back in like the 80s, right?
No.
I believe it was back in the 80s. You, sir, tall man.
I always wanted to be a fat slob that smoked a ton of green, and I'm glad to see that someone can finally get paid millions of dollars to do that.
Well,
How
hi,
high
Kevin
are you?
Smith.
Whoa. You can't
you're
compare yourself to Kevin Smith.
Not at all.
You haven't been doing stuff as long as him, have you?
Oh, okay.
You don't have as niche of a market either.
Gotcha. Well, that was all
you're-
part of my, hilarious comedy gags.
You're too
Of course,
popular.
I'm not Kevin Smith. You guys know who I am. You say.
So you're-
we obviously do.
Okay, Tyler.
Your first show was canceled after one season, and the general public disagreed with that. How do you feel about it being canceled after just one season?
Well, me and James Franco on Freaks and Geeks were tight, and as you know, you find some other people on that show who were really cool, and it is Seth Rogen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, you got it.
Charlie, he's not the worst. Holy
No,
crap.
I like him. What's funny is I like him, but people think he's the worst, and I was like, maybe they can relate,
The
but
people who
I
think
like
he's
him.
the worst are
Normally-
like hipsters.
Well, I think
Yeah.
that they're mainly just contrarian. Like anyone
Right.
who thinks that once something enters the mainstream, you can't like it anymore.
Yeah.
Those are the people who don't. Like Seth Rogen.
contrarian hipsters.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I remember a couple weeks ago at the open mic, I wanted to go on stage and just some asshole.
It's okay. It's okay. Keep it going.
Doesn't that get bleeped? I said hole.
Well, don't dwell on it.
Okay.
So open mic.
Yeah, just some guy kept yelling like that I looked like Seth Rogen.
That's funny.
Yeah. I
Wait,
guess
he was just heckling you while you were on stage?
Oh,
so
yeah.
You look like Seth Rogen?
Yeah.
You do some crowd work, or you just let it go?
Yeah, no, that was when you were hosting, and then I said to Gerard, like, please treat him as he treated me. And so Gerard made fun of him from the host mic as he was on stage.
Ah.
It was amazing.
So
Yeah.
wait, this guy was a comic himself?
Yeah, he went on stage.
Yeah, comic.
Yeah. He
exactly.
went up
But
at
he
the
went
open
up a
mic.
bit later, and I stayed for that, and it was a train wreck to begin with, made all the more pleasing to me by the fact that Gerard was just destroying him from
Said
the
like
host.
3 things.
That's awesome.
Well, you didn't have to do much, and everything you did was just like, I don't know, I was just very happy that you were there for me.
Wow. That's what we need from
Brian
our
said that was him.
That was not Brian.
Oh, also we put his baby to sleep, so he's very thankful.
Nice. I was wondering why he had so much time to type up.
Brian said that was him in whiteface, so
I see who was heckling.
it's basically what he's been doing to this chat.
yeah, for real.
Almost
I
a
love
child
Brian.
monster named Kevin Clash.
What?
I don't know.
We gotta get Granger on the show.
Yeah,
He
for
also
sure.
he also says Tanner looks like Seth Rogen.
I
And
know.
Kinda.
Yeah,
I know, though.
it's not dissimilar.
I know. I'm not Jewish, though.
Oh, I think Kevin Clash was the original.
Kevin Clash?
Voice, yeah.
Well, I don't know who he is, and I gotta guess most of our audience doesn't know local guy Kevin Clash either. So,
Yes, he's the voice of Elmo. Original.
oh, never mind, the voice of Elmo, Kevin Clash. I see.
Local man, Kevin Clash,
Yeah.
voice of Elmo.
All right, well, thank you guys for joining us today. I had a lot of fun on this episode.
Me too.
Yeah, so.
Hope everyone listening did as well. I have been Sydney Roberts. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SydneyRoberts18, and then also follow and promote Prime Nation. We're at Prime Nation Live across the board, across all social media platforms.
Brian, thank you. This is going to be my final thing. Brian, thank you very much for saying you guys look like you all eat hummus. Brian, you have made this one of the most enjoyable shows. And just a little pat on the back. We've got 7 people watching. That is the same amount of people that we have in this room, so that's good.
Probably thanks to Brian.
Yeah.
Probably each of us are watching from our phones, checking in on and commenting on Brian.
I'm Tyler Wood. You can find me on Twitter at Tyler W. Wood and on Instagram at Styler Wood. So thank you guys for listening.
And I'm Cameron Smith. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at CamboySmith, and that's spelled CamboiSmif.
And I'm Charlie Dawson. You can find me on Facebook, Charlie Dawson, and Twitter at Charlie S. Dawson.
And I'm Tanner Methvin. You can find me on Twitter at Tanner Methvin.
All right, and Gerard disappeared, but I'll go ahead and plug his social stuff too. It's A-Rod, EY_Rod. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, the
we
Gerard
got that. So it's EY_Rod. I know that's his Twitter and Instagram. So give us all a follow, guys, and help us out by promoting the show. We appreciate it. Hope you all enjoyed it, and tune back in tomorrow at 9:30 for another episode of Prime Nation. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.